Shekuro, Makara Blisse, Anaye, Ore, Ebere, Ore, Mama, Anove, Evita Heha, and Evita Babio, Toyoa, I got big way Robio, Sapele, I wear a beer, I will marry Sapele. So, for those of you in diaspora, sometimes we speak our Urobo proverb to you so that you can understand our native way. That a woman who decides to use plantain leaves as wrapper for herself, if she tries to play and dance with the ghost, that the ghost will naked her and she will not complain. And the Shekiris in Sapele came to Sapele wrapped with plantain leaves. 1894, they came as refugees. And Urobos have been hospitable to them. They turned around and they started grabbing land, making things difficult. As soon as Ebohimi became disorganized, they started seeking lands in the hinterland. Donuma had to leave Batare to Agbasa, and because Agbasa elders did not understand the legal system of that time, Donuma, a native of Batare, did litigation with Ogorode and Omenta, and he now said Olu was their overlord, a non-existent Olu. A case that even the Olu descendants lose the land. All the cases will treat the word of Elume and the Bibidaka people. All the cases are along our river banks after we hosted them. We have treated the one of Okpe. We have treated the one of Ajimele. We have treated the one of Okotie-Eboh. We have treated the one of Sapele. We have treated the one of Ogorode. I have reserved Ogorode for a reason. Because this Ogorode, all will unite again. By the time we read the Ogorode cases of Ajabodudu and Okotie-Eboh, Urobos worldwide, we have to unite again. We have to address the UPU to go and bring Okotie-Eboh and Ajabodudu back to Ogorode people. After that, we will now treat the one of Okotie-Eboh in Mosoga, where all their histories were busted. I told you that the Shekiris are people of the river Rhine. There's no way they can litigate land with us and win. So, but that's not our topic for today. We are still on the Sapele case. I'm trying to round up the Sapele case. Now, one of the ways to know who owns the land is leases. If you lease a land for me, I shall live over and over and over again. Your descendants cannot come and tell me that they own the land. Now, apart from Nana and Donuma, in modern day Nigeria, the greatest Shekiri is Chief Festus Okotie-Eboh. Chief Festus Okotie-Eboh made his millions from Sapele. He was enlightened. He was an industrialist. He built a college, Okotie-Eboh Grammar School. And he rose to become Minister of Finance. He was so powerful that he was instrumental towards the dethroning of an Olu. He was a shifting of the NCNC. And so, if Okotie-Eboh, as educated as he was, went to meet Okpe people in Sapele to take leads from them, instead of meeting the Shekiri people to give him lease, what can you say about the ownership of Sapele? This is a book I compile all the leases the Shekiri made in Sapele, all that I have. I compile them. I will read them to you. This indentation made on the 2nd day of May in the year of our Lord 1953, between Rabo Abeke of Oton Quarter, when you are saying that Oton is a Shekiri land, you are calling the Oton Yasere, you're not adding Yasere to it. This is Rabo Abeke making leases in 1953 representing the Oton Quarter. Why did the Shekiri not represent the Oton Quarter? If Oton Yasere, according to Eboh, is a Shekiri land. Between Rabo Abeke of Oton Quarter, Emmanuel Eyefia of Ejiro Quarter, which is a Tanwa, which we call Ugwanja today. Why did the Shekiri not come out to do that? James Ayomano of Ogorode Quarter and Godwin Akakasomi Kekeke of Ogorode Quarter in the Urobo division of Delta province of Nigeria for themselves and on behalf of Oto, Jamaga, Ogorode, and Ogorode communities, respectively, herein after called the lesson, which expression shall wear the context so admits include their successors in title on the one part and the firm of Messrs. Afro-Nigeria Export and Import Company of Sapele. This is the company of Festus Okotie-Eboh, which is registered under the registration business name ordinance 1926 as number 14011 of the 22nd day of April 1950, hereinafter called the lessee, and which expression shall wear the context to admit include the successor in title to the leases of the other part, witnessed as followed: that in consideration of the annual rent of £60 to be paid by lessee as hereinafter mentioned, the lessor do hereby demise unto the lessee all that piece of land situated near Sapele on the Sapele to Ogorode road in the Urobo division of the Delta province of Nigeria, containing approximately a total of 50.8 acres, and which parcel of land is on the northeast by the Sapele River and Ogorode village, and on the northwest by the plot and mill belonging to IT Palmer Nigeria Limited, and along the southwest by the road leading from Sapele to Ogorode, and on the southeast by the plot and sawmill belonging to Joseph and Sapele Venture of Sapele. I don't want to go into all the story because it will be too long. But here you have seen it now in Ogorode. He leased it from the Sapele Okpe community. And the people representing the four quarters, Oton, which people are calling Oton Uyasere, was an Okpe man. The people representing the Etama quarter, which is called Ugulaja, was an Okpe man. The Eboh of the quarter and the Ogorode quarter. And the mightiest politician of Ishekiri of the day was the person who owns the company. Now look at it here. The lesser here, Rabo Abeke, sign. Emmanuel Eyefia, sign. James Ayomano, sign. And Godwin Akakasoma Kekeke, sign. Now, in the presence of the magistrate, signed, sealed, and delivered by Festus Sam Eda. So, as of 1953, one will tell you people that Festus Okotie-Eboh was born an Urobo man. You probably say, wait a man. As of 1953, his name was still Festus Sam Eda. He has not changed the name to Festus Okotie-Eboh. See how it's a court document, certified. Festus Sam Eda for Afro-Nigeria Company, import and export. No, later, he changed his name to Festus Okotie-Eboh. He removed all his younger brothers as Eda, and the people are not saying, they'll be telling us that Okotie-Eboh used to is an Ishekiri person. But let's forget about that. Just like no Moki today, who is from Igu, a son of an appeal called George. He's saying he's an Ishekiri man. He's taking his mother's ancestry. The same thing with Leases Atake, like that. When we say that we, now our people, be able to agree to that. So, you now see that Festus Okotie-Eboh, in his days, leased land from the Okpe people. This is a receipt. It's a receipt from IT Permanent Niger Limited Company. The sum of £30 and £25 be yearly rent for Ogorode sawmill. So the sawmill in Ogorode will pay rent to the Sapele Okpe community, and £5 yearly rent for Sapele house compound Sapele. So IT Pama in 1953, IT Pama was there, but the student was still alive. They paid rent for his company, IT Pama Nigeria Limited, located in Ogorode, the sum of £25. Then for their own personal house, they are staying in Sapele Road, Sapele house. In Sapele, they pay £5. IT Pama was the first Yoruba man to settle in Sapele. He said he came to Sapele in 1896 after he retired, just after the Nana War. And that he met Ofotoku who gave him land. That Ofotoku gave him the land free, not to pay. He said, but being somebody who is wise in the ways of the white men, he decided to put it into something. Let me just be giving you something. And he started giving Ofotoku £5. So this one is for the rent of the plot of land given to him in 1952. Then there is one here received from Mr. F.A. Paul of Block B, Cross 60 Cemetery Road, Sapele, the sum of £60. Be rent paid for the land leased to him for the period of 1st July 1953 to 31st December 1953, both the date inclusive, as per the terms of agreement dated 11 September 1953. Signed Rabbi Abeke for Okota, J. Eyefia for Itama Okota. Itama is what you want to call Ugwanja. J. Ayomano for Ogorode Quarter, G. A. Keke for Ogorode Quarter. For and on behalf of the Okpe-Eboh community, Sapele, dated 12th day of September 1953. How did they call themselves? Okpe-Eboh community of Sapele. So, you see how they were using their power of leases to lease land. Then this is a Spanish company. I think this person, this man here is the father of one of the wife of the Hebrews. That's Hebrew. It's a Spanish man, not Portuguese man. So receipt of £60. Received the above sum of £60 from Mr. E.G. Spiropoulos, one of the wives of the Hebrews, the father. Be rent for the beach rented to him according to the agreement entered 3rd of January 1953 for 6 months, January to end June 1953. Check number D 342-301 referred. Sapele, 12th day of January 1953. Certified true copy, signed by A.G. Hamid, Registrar, Supreme Court. So, you now have another list again here. This one, Africa Timber and Plywood, Sapele, AT&P. That is the name. That is what made Sapele to become very popular in those days. It later became part of it, later became Ethnic Company. They also lease it from the Okpe community. None of that. These areas are not part of the 510 acres of land, or it's Ogorode, part of the 510 acres of land. Now, this deed made on the 29th day of March 1951 between Rabbi Abeke of Oton Quarter, Emmanuel Eyefia of Ajamura Quarter, Jamikoko Damioba of Ogorode Quarter, and Godwin Sakasomi Kekeke of Ogorode Quarter in the Orobo division of the Warri province for themselves and on behalf of Oton, Etama, Ogorode, and Ogorode communities, respectfully hereinafter called the lesser, which shall include the successors in title of the lessor where the contents are need of the one part and African Timber and Plywood Limited, AT&P, a company incorporated under the laws of Nigeria, whose registered address is at Niger House, Lagos, in Nigeria, after after called the lessee, which term include the successors in title of lessee, where the consent so admit or the other part witnessed that in consideration of the annual rent of £228 to be paid by the lessee, as hereafter measure the lessor do ever demands to the lessee all that parcel of land situate near Sapele on Sapele Warri Road in the Yoruba division of the Warri province, containing a total area of approximately 341.9 acres, and which is more particularly delineated and so surrounded by border colored pink on the plan attached to this present to hold the same unto the leasing of a term of 60 years from the first day of January 1951, the lessee paying therefore without demand. Now, I don't want to go far. You said Okpe people want only 510 acres of land. Isn't it? Yes. How many acres here are they giving out to AT&P? 341 acres of land. So if we add it now to the 500 acres of land, Abi. So, because you say you own the other area. That's why we came to say to your year out. Say it was only 510 acres of land. The other ones are better. Why you not going to use AT&P that contain almost 370 acres of land? Then even your own Okotie-Eboh Lease, with your head of Okotie-Eboh, little head of the Secretariat that time, took away another 15.8 acres of land. Then IT Palmer took another one. So I think you see the whole game now. Because of time, let me just use this one to round up. The local government council. What evidence could be more than that? The local government council, where Sapele local government is located now, they went to take meetings of where they build the secretariat from the Okpe community. Look at it here. This deed made on the 26th day of March 1953 between Rabbi Beke, Oton Quarter, James Ayemano, Ogorode Quarter, Emmanuel Yefia, Itama Quarter, and Godwin Agakasomi take care of Ogorode Quarter for the chairman on behalf of the Okpe community Sapele, Delta province, hearing after called the lessor, which shall include the social title of the lessor, where the convention admit of the one part, and the local authorities, Sapele Delta province, hearing after called the lessee, which shall include the successor in office, where the contestant admit of the part witnessed that in consideration of the annual rent of £135 to be paid by the lessee, as herein after mentioned, the lessor do hereby demands to the lessee all that piece of land herein after as the place situated at Commercial Avenue, Sapele, in Delta province, containing an area of approximately 5.286 acres, and which is more particularly delineated, surrounded by the border colored pink on the plan attached to this present to hold the same unto the lease for a term of 55 years from the first day of January 1953, the lessee paying therefore without demand on the first day of January in the year the said annual rate of lessor in the sum of £135. So we'll stop here.